and I play red. Today is the 5th. Well, it's not actually, because we're not recording this on the 5th, but shh, it's the 5th. So, 5 for the 5th. And today we're going to have a look at some of my favourite roll and writes. In no particular order, number 5 is Ripple Rush by Stronghold Games. This was a review copy that I wasn't expecting that was sent to me, and we're really enjoying it. I actually did a video about this and Dizzy Dice, which was the other one Stronghold sent me, but this we love. So you can check out the other video, but we'll have a quick look at it now. So, Ripple Rush has, oh look, loads of cards that are everywhere. Each player has a little notepad. Obviously, it's a roll and write. Looks a little like this. Depending on the number of players, depends on the number of cards you're going to play with. So you have 20 cards per player. So in a 2-player game, you'll have 40, etc. Also have one of these little achievements. 2 actually of those. And players will take it in turns to draw a card and write it somewhere on their board, going from high to low. When they complete a row, they get the bonus shown there. At the end of the game, you'll get extra points if you've completed these objectives, and you get points for each continual row of numbers you have. So let's have a look at one of these that we've done. Here's one we made earlier. The blue column would score 4. The red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yellow, 3, and green, 2. So you add your total for the 4 columns up, add your bonus points, and the player with the most wins. This is really neat, it's really quick, it's really simple. It's one of those you sit, play, and you go, oh, let's have another game. A lot of fun, really enjoying this one. At number 4, we have an oldie but a goodie. Ganz Schön Clever. That's pretty clever, and it is. This is, I think, one of the ones that really started the whole roll and write phase of late. There's a brilliant little app as well. This is where we see all of our terrible scores from previous games. Yep, let's not look at that. So you're going to, the active player will, oops, roll the dice. They pick one of the dice. In this case, I'm going to take the 2. I pop it there. I'm then going to mark the green space off. Any numbers I've rolled that are lower than the dice I've taken go onto the silver platter. In this case, there's none, so I'm going to roll again. Oof, right. Let's take the yellow 2. Mark one of the yellow 2s off in the yellow area, and the orange 1 will go on the platter. And I get one more roll. Let's take the purple 3, and I'd write 3 at the bottom. These dice will go on the platter, and at the end of my turn, my opponents can choose one of these dice to use. So the yellow dice get marked off in the yellow area, the blues in the blue area, green, orange, and purple. You've also got all sorts of extra little bonuses you pick up on the way, and that's the joy with this game, is you end up with loads of chain effects. So if you completed this row on the yellow, you'd get to mark a blue off, which could potentially then complete a row here and let you get an orange, and so on. You're then going to score each area according to their rules at the end of the game, and the player with the most points wins. At number 3, we have Patchwork Doodle. Uwe Rosenberg Lookout Games, or Fun with Felt Tips, as we like to call it. We quite liked Patchwork, but it only does 2 players. This variation goes from 1 to 6 players. Each player has their little board. They'll start with 1 card from these ones at random and draw that shape on their board. Then the game is played over 3 rounds. You're going to have 8 cards in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't know why I didn't like that one. 7, 8. Put the little worker somewhere. Oops. Upside down, randomly. Roll the dice. Move the worker, and you draw the shape on your board. Once 6 of these cards have gone, the round ends, and you're going to score. You're going to score effectively for the biggest square you have at the end of each round. Pop your score here. There's then also special abilities you can use as one-offs during the game. So this one means you could choose to take shape either side. This one gives you a little 1 space, always handy in these kind of games. And this one means you can kind of cut a shape in 2 and use it as 2 different parts. So this square here, I could basically cut down the middle and have 2 little 2x1s. Going to play over 3 rounds, you score at the end of each round. At the end of the game, you get negative points for every empty space left on your board. The game actually encourages you to draw little patterns and things if you want. It's fun, it's quick. I think we prefer it to standard Patchwork, but obviously the ability to play more players is great. At number 2, we have Welcome to Your Perfect Home. This is the Blue Cocker version, which I think are the European distributors. Deepwater do it in the US. Now this is a slight variation. All the others I've spoken about have very definitely been roll and writes. This is a flip and fill game. Oh, and we've got some extra stuff in here. As well as the standard pads that come with the game, they do these really neat themed ones. This is the Halloween one. Obviously, we have the Halloween. And here's your basic board. So, oh my goodness, look at this. We do love our games, honestly. They don't always just get left like this. Turns are played simultaneously. The game actually plays between 1 and 99 people. I've played it with about 14 and it kind of gets a bit mayhem because you need to make sure everyone's taken their turn. But it's quite cool. So you have 3 choices. You take the number and the action shown. So here we have 8 and a pool action, 12 and a park action, 11 and this action. You're going to be building your neighbourhood in these 3 streets. Numbers must go from low to high, and there's various other bonuses you can get over the course of the game. For example, the park card that we have there lets you mark off one of these park spaces, which will give you points at the end of the game. Pools will give you points, workmen give you points, everything gives you points. You get to name your little neighbourhood here. And there are 3 bonus cards available from the start of the game. Oops, that's the wrong way around. If you're the first person to complete any of these objectives, you're going to score the points shown first. Once someone's completed them, they're flipped, and other players can complete them for lesser points. Once everyone has taken an action and a number pairing, you're then going to flip another 8. You're then going to flip these 3 and go again, continuing to write numbers on your board until you have something that looks a little bit like this. Always chaos, always chaos. I think this was presumably Steph playing it, so she called her town Steftopia. So you place the numbers, place your fences. You're then going to score at the end of the game for any of the achievements you got. Your park bonuses, so the highest number that's not crossed off, the number of pools you got, the number of workers you used, the number of groupings you've got. If you can't use a dice, you cross off one of these spaces and it will be negative points at the end of the game. The game will either end when someone's crossed all of these off or when the cards run out. Player with the highest score wins. And at number 1, we have Raja of the Ganges Dice Charmers, the roll and write version of Raja of the Ganges by Marks and Inca brand from R&R Games or Hooch Games, depending on where you are in this big old world. We love the board game, so we had a couple of games of this on Jakarta, loved it and bought it immediately. This is honestly one of the best value games I think out there at the moment. I think we paid about £15 for it. It comes with 2 different types of boards. You have the nighttime and the daytime boards. So pick one of those to use. Everyone has the same board. Let's take the daytime one. We've got a little broken down elephant. Oh, feels really sad. But he doesn't fit in the box nicely. But then it's a really slinky little box. So depending on the number of players is going to depend on how many dice actions you get. We've been playing this 2-player, so we're going to have one of those for now. And you're going to roll the dice. Now, each coloured dice represents a different area on the board. So, let's do that. Now, if I were to take... I'm going to take the green dice. And as I'm the start player, the other green dice is going to go on the elephant and is essentially out of play for the round. The green dice refers to the map in the middle here. So here I'd get to draw a straight line. So as I'm just beginning, you can see the little brown marks. I'd do that cross there and I'd gain some fame points this side of the board. Similar to the board game, you have a queen track and a fame track, and you win the game when they cross over somewhere, usually down the bottom, not always. So the green dice let you move around your map here, gain fame for going through the buildings, and then when you connect to the edges, you get the specific bonuses shown. The purple dice let you take goods, which you're going to mark here in the purple area. There are then other abilities that let you sell goods for the price shown at the bottom there. The blue dice deal with the river. So in this case, I've got the windmill dice, which would let me take 2 goods not of the same type, and I'd cross that space off. Then you have the yellow dice, which is the court here. Each of the different people give you a different ability as shown. When you complete a column, you get the bonus shown. So it's another one where a lot of things trigger a lot of different abilities. You can choose what order you take them in. You also have karma points up here, which allow you to re-roll dice if need be. For us, this really captures the essence of Raja of the Ganges, the board game. It's also really nice to have a slightly more thinky roll and write. Let's have a look at one of these here we've got. So, cross out everything as you go. When you take the ability, mark it off. You also get some special abilities on the fame and queen tracks, so keep an eye out for them. We're big fans of the board game, and we're big fans of the dice game. Let's say it's an absolute bargain. You can pick it up quite cheap, and it's available to play on your Carta. So if you want to have a go before you buy it, like we did, you can. So, in no particular order, 5 of our favourite roll and writes. Part of this is dependent on number of players. Honestly, I probably wouldn't play Welcome To with a lower player count. It's chaotic fun at bigger numbers. Raja is really nice at 2, as is Ganesh on Clever. So different games depending on who and where you're playing. Ripple Rush is lovely for non-gamers and for family members. Say Welcome To is great for big groups. Patchwork Doodle, it's just fun because you get to colour and stuff. Raja of the Ganges, if you're after something a little heavier. My 5 for the 5th. Roll and writes. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked this video. If you did, click like and subscribe. Come and say hello to me on the other socials. I Play Red on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Thanks for watching. Bye.